Welcome back. We are now working on the Volkswagen R32, and you can see here the car is completely torn apart. We were trying to figure out why the car was not running the last time we had it back together. We replaced the timing chain on the car. Thought I had it timed up correctly. Come to find out, I did not have it timed up correctly. Just finally figured out why. So we had to learn the hard way on not timing it correctly. We had bent 4 valves and broken 2 of them. We have all the valves now replaced. Nice little $2,000 mistake. The cool thing is we figured out what the mistake was. When I had timed it, I had made sure that the crank was in the correct position. I had made sure the camshafts were in the right position. And I did not make sure this was in the right position. So that was actually turned about 180 degrees. When I put it all back together, I was like, oh, this is off. So I just turned it 180 degrees, which now made this off. The camshafts were correct. This was correct technically. However, the pistons up on top here is what the issue was. You needed to have the certain piston top dead center, which is one of these guys, top dead center. The ones that were top dead center were either these 2 or those 2. So that is actually where we had the problem with it. Like I said, figured out the hard way, but we have to get this car all back together because there's a car show happening down in North Carolina, Wookiees in the Woods, that everybody who has a VR6 Volkswagen R32 or an Audi TT 3.2, but we need to get the car back together in order to hit that event. And I'm not sure that's actually really possible because today is March 25th. Wookiees in the Woods is April 11th. So we have like 2 weeks to put this whole car back together. And I've never had it running before. So I don't even know if it is timed out correctly, if it'll even actually run. So once we get it back together, we'll actually know if we could even make it to the event. Cool thing is we finally got all the parts we need for it. We're waiting on head bolts for the car. Apparently these need to be replaced every single time that you do work on the car. I didn't realize that. Got some faster shipping to get them in faster, and it still took longer than what it would have been for like free shipping. So I'm thinking if we really work hard on it this weekend and we really get it going, we could have it running by next week and could be driving. Like I said, if everything works out perfectly, if we get everything situated where it should be, I'll give some updates as we put the engine back together, and I'll actually get some pictures of the timing chain in the correct position, making sure everything is actually correct this time. Got a quick update on the R32. Progress is going along just great. Got the head on, got the new gasket on underneath that, new head bolts in up top here, and we got the timing chain on, which is what the issue was before. So we got it timed up here at the notch right down there. Got that notch timed up right there at the bottom, and then the 2 notches up top here are also good. Now normally when you time this up, you have the copper notches, the copper pieces that go around to where they're supposed to go. These 2 copper pieces are up at the top, and then these 3 copper pieces up top here are at the bottom here to line up with this notch right there. I turned the engine around a few times just to make sure there was no clearance issues with the valves and the pistons, and there is not a single sound. It moves nice and smooth, which is so exciting. So everything's tightened down. We got all the chain guides in there. It's only been 1 night, and we've probably been working now for 3 hours, about 3 hours or so. Really, if we keep working on like this, should be possibly good to go by next week. If we're able to drive next week, that would put us in a really good time going down to Wookiees in the Woods. So definitely exciting. So we got a little bit of progress on the Volkswagen R32. So the engine is looking like it's actually coming back together a little bit. Got the timing chain on, and all the covers are back on now. That's looking nice. It's no longer just bare chain anymore. And then we're also getting some other brackets on, and we're able to put the valve cover on here pretty soon as well. It'll be going back into the car in no time. This is day 3 working on the R32. More like evening 3. Haven't had like a full day to actually work on the car. But the car is looking like it's actually back together a little bit. Actually have some, looks like some progress on everything. Transmission was put on, got the flywheel pressure plate put on. We got some other components that were put on. I think we were put on the other night. But we got the drive shafts hooked up, the exhaust hooked up, which might not sound like anything super exciting, but those are like the most difficult things to work on. The way they did this car is really crappy because of the rack and pinion here. It is right in the middle between exhaust and the drive shaft. So you have to undo the drive shaft and the exhaust in order to drop the engine out of the car because the rack and pinion's in the way. I'm not really sure a good way to take out the rack and pinion because it really looks like it's a difficult thing to take out of there. It's only 3 days in. We got another partial day tomorrow I can work on the car, and then Sunday to work on the car. I want to say the most difficult part is doing the drive shaft and the exhaust. Really the next part's going to be really fun with getting all these wires taken care of, trying to figure out where they go and where they plug into, also got the engine. It's actually going to be really easy doing it this time because the front bumper's off the car, so everything's up in the car. We can still have access to everything and we can still look at everything. Did not realize the first time I was working on the car that when you have this on the car, it is impossible to work on. One of the issues that has actually happened with the car is I did a lot of really nice stuff with painting everything, making it look all really nice, and it probably looks really good on camera. However, if you look up really closely, I've gotten this thing so dirty because I've taken it apart, put it back on, and I'm not really sure if it's showing up too well. But this is like a really nice white color, and probably not the best idea to go with white. A lot of the other stuff that's was painted really nicely is starting to have some issues with it, especially the oil pan. That's been scratched up pretty good, which I really don't have guard down there anyway, so chances are there'd be rocks and sticks and stuff that'll scratch it up anyway, so I guess it's not really the worst thing in the world. So it is day 4 working on the R32, and this thing is coming together beautifully. All the suspension up in the car, everything on the subframe is up here. We are plugging in wires. The reason I didn't take the front bumper off the first time I was doing this is because I wanted to make sure that this line was on and this was up in the engine bay. That way we didn't have to worry about trying to recharge the AC system and do all that, you know, painful effort to do that. I wish I would have just unplugged that thing and taken off the front bumper because this is 10 times easier working on the car with the front bumper off. You have full access to the front engine, coming along nicely and looking fantastic. We're about to start the car. Not gonna start it off. So I figure that is. She's a purring like a kitten. Oh my goodness. You know, all it needed was just a timing chain done correctly. Yeah, not just doing like what I was doing. Like an idiot. But man, there's a slight ticking sound. Kind of sounds like maybe the crankshaft kind of adjusts a little bit, but man, started with almost 0 issues. Sticky go. Let's go. 4 days. 4 days worth of working. Finally got her going. Finally got her going. That's fun. Yeah, we're gonna turn it off now. Make sure we get the right amount of coolant in there. Make sure we get everything all situated, topped off with all the right parts that we need.
Went away?
I don't hear it. So yeah, guess it did. Last night took the R32 for a little bit of a spin, just to see if everything was working all right. and we have a little bit of a problem. Everything was actually pretty good for the most part, except for, I think this guy. Don't think it's supposed to be making that sound. The car seemed to be a little bit of a, it's kind of jolting whenever you're hitting the gas a little bit, kind of like boom, boom, boom. And I was like, what? Why is it? I'm having like a little bit of power loss. I was thinking maybe something wrong with the transmission or something. Turns out it's just a CV axle. I looked it up online because I'm not familiar with CV axles going bad or what the symptoms are. And they said that if it makes it sound when you're turning, that means it's bad. So I got actually one for each side. Usually it's the left side that goes bad. This side is still A-okay. It's not moving around at all. But I got both sides. This one was actually more expensive, so maybe it goes out more often than anything. But I did get one for this side as well, just in case. Did my own version of an alignment on the car. It actually worked out pretty good. What I did was I took 2 tape measures, laid them down on the floor, and what I did is I put them between both tires. I had one tape measure on this side, other tape measure on this side. When the car is all the way on the ground, you'd measure it up to see about which side is lined up correctly or not. And it was about 1 inch off the front to the back. Completed the toe in. Also realized once it was actually about even, it was actually turned to the side a little bit, and then turn that over a little bit more. When I was driving the car last night, the car was straight as can be. I was like, oh, let's go. Actually runs, which is kind of sweet. It's amazing what happens when you time up the engine correctly. So we've gotten the old CV shafts out of the car. So out of the front here. Come to find out that it wasn't the CV shaft that was actually bad. It was just when I had installed these, or when I was working on the car, I had hyperextended this section over here, and so it had pulled it out of place to where boot and the joint weren't actually matched up correctly. My fault for messing it up that way. In order to find that out, I had to cut the boot off of the CV shaft. Got the new box right here. Beautiful box. Only took 2 days in order to get this in, which was awesome. Just coming down from Columbus, so it wasn't too bad. Let's unbox this thing. And just like that, we have the new CV shaft just in here. It took you guys 2 seconds in the video. It took me 5 days to actually get it back, but we finally got that. We also got registration and plates for the car. Decided to do something related to the actual number of the car. So the car is 616 out of 5,000, the special edition. Well guys, we officially have done it. R32 is on the road. It feels so nice. It's been 9 months, maybe even 10 months now. May of 2024, when my older brother asked me if I wanted to have the car. And I was like, dude, I'd love to have the car. I knew it needed a whole bunch of work done to it. I knew that it needed a lot of things done. However, I was like, bro, this was like the first fast car I'd ever been in. And looking at the numbers, it doesn't seem like a fast car. 240 horsepower, it's all-wheel drive, weighs 3,600 pounds, and you wouldn't think that it actually weighs that, or that it actually has that much performance. My Infiniti G37 has 350 horsepower, and it's about the same weight. It actually might even be a couple hundred pounds more than this thing, but with the extra horsepower, you're like, well, there's no way this thing could ever keep up. There's no way this could actually really feel like a good sports car. But in reality, this thing has so much pep to it. It is amazing taking turns in this thing. I put 100 miles on the car. We just hit 105 with the car. And it is amazing how easily this thing just rolls through the corners. I was blown away last night, taking some turns on some on-ramps and off-ramps and some back roads. I'm just like, man, this thing is just, it just goes, and it just pulling you through the turn. The other nice thing about the Infiniti is that it has the coilovers for the car, so it really keeps it nice and planted. This just has a stock suspension and feels just like the Infiniti. So I'm just blown away how easily this thing takes turns. And we will say it is a little bit more floaty at higher speeds than the Infiniti is. The Infiniti is a lot more planted. However, this thing really likes to move around a little bit when you're driving down the road. We have the car back together before Wookiees in the Woods for 2025. The issue is that I've spent so much money and so much time on the car trying to get it ready for Wookiees in the Woods, I can't afford to go to Wookiees in the Woods anymore. I was kind of curious why they always wanted to go to the Tail of the Dragon down in North Carolina and Tennessee, because it's such a windy, curvy road, and I wouldn't think this thing would actually handle so well on those windy, curvy roads. After obviously taking this on some the other night, or last night, it was amazing as to why they want to do that. And I'm sure it's a really amazing experience. We are definitely going down next year. Like, it is got to happen. We're really kind of bummed out. I was so focused on trying to make it happen that couldn't make it happen anymore. We are still kind of breaking in the engine. I'm trying to get it, try not to rev the engine over 4,000 RPM. Redline's about 65, 7,000 RPM, something like that. But man, the car rips around these turns like it's nothing. I love it. Even too, like I said, I'm not even trying to rev it over 4,000 RPM, and this thing just wants to go even under 4,000 RPM. The car is just really peppy, really wants to go. And again, taking turns, it just feels like it is planted. There's no sliding, there's no question if you're taking the turn good or not. It's just going. There are some things that need to get checked out with the car. It does have a check engine light and airbag light, windshield washer fluid light. It's really not a whole lot of lights actually. It's just the check engine light needs to be checked out. As far as modifications go for the car, I do really think this car needs an exhaust. It probably just needs an exhaust because I'm so used to the Infinity. What's funny is that I can have a normal conversation. I'm not trying to yell at all in the car. You can hear me just fine. With the Infinity, if we had this exact same setup, you wouldn't be able to hear me at all. There's a guy that posted online in Wookiees in the Woods. He said that he had a VW R32 for sale and had like really low miles and stuff, and you know, he the comments were just ripping this guy apart because he's got a R32 with low miles. Like, bro, put miles on the car. It's 04 R32, and the guy only had like 43,000 or 46,000 miles on the car. It's like, dude, you're not even driving the car. I know now why they were talking to him like that about the car, because they're like, dude, this car is meant to be driven. It's a special edition, but at the same time, like, you need to put the miles on the car because this thing just deserves those miles. There's nothing about it that's just like, yeah, you know, you should keep it nice and keep it okay and stuff. Keep the miles low on it because it's a special edition. It's like, no, just drive the car, have some fun with it.